Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. As many of you know, I was born in Israel and lived there until I was 7 years old. And my parents moved to Israel from New York, and before that from Canada. But my father speaks of being 15 years old and going to Israel for the first time, and getting off the plane, and suddenly hearing the luggage handler speaking Hebrew. And somehow he knew he was home. And he had gone to day school, and everything he learned, he said, had been an abstraction in Canada, but in Israel, suddenly it was a part of reality. The luggage handlers were speaking the language of the Torah. And here in front of him was this living embodiment of everything he'd been brought up with: the culture, the language, Judaism in the public square, and thousands of years of Jewish identity coming alive in this one place. And so Israel is not just a symbol, but as a 100-year-old people in religion, we have a purpose and a mission, and there is a specific location where that takes place in a certain kind of way, just like this location right here. Also a holy place. And so on one hand, it can't take place everywhere, because as we are here living wonderful Jewish lives and thriving communities, even as the last year has been difficult. On the other hand, there is a specific location. And on Passover, we weren't just free to leave Egypt and go wander in the desert, but we were free to leave Egypt and go to the Promised Land, the land flowing with milk and honey. And so many of the customs of our people and the traditions of our people are connected to that land. And even in our Parsha, which has no specific link to Israel, even the laws there of following, of being careful not to follow the customs of the cults that surrounded them. Well, which country are they talking about? The country surrounding the land of Israel. And it's not just back then in the Torah, and the laws to do with Israel are all over almost every part of the Torah. But even in our day, there are parts of our Jewish life that are so much easier to express when we're in Israel. For example, if you were to be in Israel during Pesach, you can walk in almost any neighborhood, and they have huge boiling pots of water. You can just put your dishes in there to kasher them for Pesach. And when the Hanukkah comes, the schools shut because they follow the Jewish calendar. And a friend of mine, when she moved to Israel for the first time, and she said, when did she really realize she was in a Jewish country? When she turned on the radio just before Pesach, and she heard about 10 different ads for different kinds of matzah. And so there is a country where it all comes together for us, Jewish life in this specific kind of way. I thought about this too during Passover, when I somehow was able to buy barakas from Israel that were kosher for Passover, which the whole ingenuity of the startup nation to making Pesach food taste like regular food. But when I talk to non-Jews about Israel, I say this is not just an ancestral connection, and it is the land of the Bible, but it's not because of the Bible that we feel a sense of connection to the land, because the Bible reflects the connection to the land. And in Israel, every hill, every valley, every lake has a story attached to it, and it makes it precious and sacred to us. This is where Jacob had his dream. This is where Abraham and Sarah lived. This is where Elijah was on the mountain. And so when Jews returned to the land of Israel, even the most secular of them, the pioneers, had a Tanakh, a Bible in their hands, and walked around the land, because it was the land of thousands of years of story. And so again, we can live our Judaism anywhere, and we do proudly, but the land of Israel always has that special sense of mission and purpose for us as Jews. And so I wanted to say to our confirmation and graduation students this evening, some of you are going to visit Israel often, and some of you will rarely visit Israel, and it won't be, the center point Though birthright trips are pretty awesome. But I am grateful to all of you over the past few months, in whatever way you each did, have expressed your connection to the land of Israel and explored how it's part of the conversation and wherever your beliefs are at. And so my prayer for all of you is that in the years ahead, your connection to Israel isn't just defending Israel, but it's also finding joy and belonging and a sense of pride in a place where everything you learn about here, the stories, language, identity, all comes to life in a way that can't anywhere else. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.